Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Standard 81 podcast. I am your host, Sincere, and tonight we are going to be talking about a brand new topic. I'm just going to let you know beforehand, I don't have any notes for this one. I'm going to be winging this one off the top because I think I got a lot to say about this, and I kind of don't. Anyways, before we get into this, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Uh, Pretty soon we will be coming out with one-on-ones with Sincere. Be looking forward to that. First guest is going to be Frank Rose. We will be doing those on Monday, every second and fourth Monday for right now, until I can get all that locked in and locked down. Check out the Instagram at Sincere the Artist. You will see all types of stuff from there, from my life, from what I've been doing. Also, check out those videos. I've been hosting Let's Talk About It, just like 4 or 5 minutes. I think the longest one on there is maybe 8 minutes. Check that out as well, and I think you'll like some of that as well here. But anyways, let's get into this. Tonight we will be talking about it is time to transition. Time to transition. I feel like nowadays a lot of people do not make their transitions properly, and they don't know the time to transition. And the thing I want to speak on is first things first. What are we looking for when you feel like it's time to transition? You know what? I'm gonna put on some music in the background here. Here, let's turn it down. That's yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's nice. All right. So, time to transition. When do you know it's time to transition and how? So, first things first, in every season in life, there's going to be a time where you need to transition, time for you to evolve, time where you need to do more than what you were doing. And that point comes at different areas in life. For instance, here's some small transitions. Uh, the point from being a baby to being a child, the point from being a child to a youth, the point from being a youth to a young adult, and then from young adult into adulthood, and then from adulthood into uh, into eldership, right? Those are the transitions of life. But within those broad transitions, there are times of transitioning that we need to pay attention to, and I think most people don't uh, until we know about them, and we can correctly use follow the signs in order for us to move forward. So here's here's how I'm gonna start this. The importance in transitioning is the importance in moving forward. The importance of transitioning is the importance of moving forward. What do I mean by that? When you be when you say you want to move forward and you want to begin to progress, you got to make a change. And here's the problem I found with most people. Most people don't like change. What do we hear all the time? In broad spectrum, live your life comfortably. Find how to be comfortable, how to make yourself comfortable. Find your place in this world. Find your comfort zone, your safe space. But I'm here to tell you, if you get in that comfort zone and that safe space, you'll never make the transition to the next level, and you'll never move forward. This is so important for everybody, but specifically men, because we are the leaders. Guys, let me say that. We are the leaders. Believe it or not, we are the ones that are going to make or break this thing, right? What we allow to happen in society, in our homes, in the world in general, is what's going to ultimately affect us. And if we decide we rather be safe in our bubble and not make the transitions, not make the next steps, ultimately we're going to be caught in a whirlwind of disaster where we're forced to do what we should have been doing all along, which is transition, make those steps. So, how do you know it's time to transition? Here it is. When your comfort zone begins to feel uncomfortable. I'm going to say that again. When your comfort zone begins to feel uncomfortable is when you know it's time to transition. Here's an example. Let's say you're at a job and all of a sudden that job that you've been in for, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, all of a sudden and I'm not saying that every day is a great day, but all of a sudden nothing's working, nothing's flowing, nothing seems to be going right. And your elevation seems to just be hitting a ceiling, right? You can't seem to go any further than where you are. You know that you can, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, it's probably time to transition. And I'm not saying you necessarily need to leave that company, but it's time for you to think, maybe I need a different position. Maybe I need to upgrade my skills. Maybe I need to learn something more in order to make me more valuable to the company so that I can elevate. That's just an example. What's another sign of needing to transition? When the things that you were trying to do always seem to fail. Now, don't get me wrong. Failure is a part of life. We all are going to fail, and probably we're going to fail more than we would like. But when everything you're trying to do within your entrepreneurship, within your work efforts, within your relationships efforts, within anything in life, if it's constantly a failure, then it's probably time to transition. It's probably time to change. Because what's the definition of insanity? And I know I say this a lot. It's trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I'm here to tell you, nothing is going to be produced from you doing the same thing. Now, let me clear something up. This has nothing to do with consistency. You can consistently evolve the way you think. Let me give you a verse from the Bible. The Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that means you have to reframe the way you think. But the ing at the end is a word that says, keep going. Keep going. So we constantly have to keep on reevaluating the way that we think, the way that we do things. But this is a consistent process that you repeat over and over and over and over again. So that does not mean that all of a sudden, just because it's time to transition, you stop being consistent with the things that are already working. Let me say that again. Just because it's time to transition from one thing to another doesn't mean you're not consistent in the things that are already working. Because here's what it is, those things help build your character. Those things help to put you in the place that you are now. And those things are going to be the things that help you thrive in the future. But sometimes the place that you're in is not necessarily the place you need to go. And for a lot of us, we don't like that. We just don't like that. Because it's difficult to turn the mirror to ourselves and have to look at and have to face the reality of what we need to do in whole, in summation, and fix that. Because nobody wants to be told, hey, you're wrong. Nobody wants to be told that what you're doing is not good enough. I surely don't. But I am finding that the more you do this in life, the better off you ultimately are when you get ready to cross that finish line, or when you get ready to accomplish that next goal, or when you get ready to pursue that new thing. Which brings me to the next point. What's another sign that you need to transition? When you got a new thought process. That's an easy one. I shouldn't even have to tell y'all that. That's an easy one. When you start having new ways of thinking and new thought processes, and you're reading more, or you're doing more, or you're figuring out things, it's time to transition. And this doesn't necessarily mean you need to transition out of a place, but it does mean that you need to transition out of a mindset. See, here's what I want to get across. We are talking more about mind, right? I'm talking to you more about a mindset than I am about places or particular things, right? Because you can move from one place to another, or you can move from this to that, or you can try this or that. But if your mind doesn't change, nothing changes. I'm gonna say it again. If your mind doesn't change, nothing changes. Why do you think God had such a hard time with the children of Egypt? And I'm sorry I'm mentioning the Bible a lot. So just to warn you guys, I am a Christian. So my life revolves around Christianity. So if I mention the Bible a lot, it's just because it's in me. That's who I am. All right. God had such a hard time with the children of Egypt, not because he didn't free them from Egypt. The children of Israel weren't free of Egypt in their mind. They can't get past what had happened in Egypt. They kept on reverting back to Egypt. They never transitioned until the old generation died off. And I'm telling you, people, you don't want to die off mentally before you make a transition. How do you die off mentally? All of a sudden, all the ideas, everything you thought, the places that you thought you were going to go, the things that you thought you were going to do, all just seem to be dying off. And your future just seems to be fading into a distance. You know, the one thing you'll probably always regret, there's two things, but the one thing you'll probably always regret is not doing something. And I'm not saying evil stuff. But I'm saying the stuff that's in your heart that you know that's going to help you be better and is going to impact people in a positive manner. You're always going to regret that. You're always going to regret the fact that you didn't move towards that. Because there's always going to be that what if. Let me give you an example. In your mind, let me give you an example. With as far as relationships go, right? You see this girl. You've seen her more than once, right? You looked at her, she's looked at you. Y'all both smiled at each other. Y'all might even said, "Hey." And all this time you've been thinking, I should talk to her. I should go up to her. I should say hello. I should ask her out, whatever the case may be. And you keep on waiting. You keep on waiting. And finally, after a year or two of seeing each other, you finally build up the courage to do it, only to find out she's got a boyfriend or she's married now. You knew she was single before. Let's just say she was single before, right? You knew that much. You knew that she was single before. But now your opportunity is gone. And you regret the fact that you never stepped into that. And I'm not saying that there's nobody better out there for you or whatever the case may be. But that particular opportunity is gone. Let's take another example. Let's say there's something you always wanted to try, but maybe you're not quite qualified for it, or position you want to take, and you're not quite qualified for it. So you decide not to apply, or you decide not to go for it. Only to find out somebody you knew did exactly what you were thinking about, which is went ahead and went for it, and they got it. And now they're thriving in that because they took the opportunity and went for it. That's a point of transition. See, transition is always going to require a risk. Let me say that again. Transitioning is always going to require a risk. Sometimes the risk is great, and sometimes the risk is small. But no matter what the transition is, no matter what the change is, it's always going to require a risk. And the problem is a lot of people don't want to risk because I'm going back to another point. They would rather be comfortable. I'm going to say this one more. I'm going to say this. Don't let that be you. Don't let your comfort be the thing that keeps you from moving forward. Don't let your comfort be the thing that stagnates you, that puts you on this plane of non-ambition. Don't let comfort be the thing that knocks you off course. Don't let comfort be the thing that stops you from seeking. Don't let your comfort be the thing that stops you from growing. Because look, everything in this life can be replaced. There's only one thing in this life that can't be replaced, and that's time. And the time that you choose to spend in your comfort is the time that you can never get back, and which is the time that could have propelled you to greater heights than you could ever know, but you were too afraid to do it because you were comfortable. And please forgive me, I talk with my hands a lot. I'm sorry. But I told you I was taking this one kind of off the cuff because I really think this one is something that I hope more people listen to and go back in and listen to again and again, because the importance of transitioning can sometimes be the matter of you succeeding or failing. And success, like I said in another podcast, is different for each person. But despite how the differences in how it looks, you'll never know and you'll never reach it if you never step forward into that brand new era, into that brand new age. You gotta say to yourself, I'm worth it. Though it and do it scared, do it nervous, do it unprepared if you have to, but do it. Because you'll never find out whether you succeed or where you can go if you don't. If you fail, you fail. You were going to fail. Failure, like I said, failure is a part of life. So you're going to fail irregardless. But wouldn't you rather fall going forward than going back? I know I would. I'd rather fall on my face than fall flat on my back. Because if I fall on my face, at least when I get up, I can see what's ahead of me. Fall on my back, all I can see is what's up there. And you know, people that look to the sky a lot, they're dreamers, and dreamers are great. But these are people that don't really chase much. They're oftentimes just, they'll talk to you about a bunch of things, but they never quite do anything. They never quite go anywhere. They never quite get to that next level. And I want you to get to that next level. I want you to get to that place where all of a sudden now you're wondering what can I not accomplish? What can I not do? Where can I not go? What can I not succeed in? Can I not be this? Because I think that's oftentimes what keeps us from our greatness. I think that's oftentimes what keeps us from our purpose. Is not wanting to move, is not wanting to transition, is not wanting to push forward, and not recognizing the times and the seasons in which to move. And it's simple. If something's not working, it's time to move. If you've done something over and over again and it's not working, it's time to move. If you feel stagnant, it's time to move. If you've gone through different phases in life and you still not accomplishing, it's time to move. If you feel yourself moving backwards, it's time to move. If things are going too crazy and too rocky and you can't seem to navigate it, it's time to move. It's time to make a transition. This is not about feelings, man. This is about a thought process. This is about a mindset. Anybody that's not moving forward is backsliding. That's what a pastor wants to. I heard from a pastor. Anybody that's not moving forward is backsliding. Because while you're standing in place, the world is passing you by. Everything in life is passing you by. And eventually you're going to find yourself right back in the place that you were before. Wondering, how did I get back in this place? You took steps forward, but after you took those few steps forward, you never continued your progress. You can only get to the end of the journey by moving forward. So I think with that, I'm gonna wrap it up. Uh, it's about 25 minutes into this particular, I guess, monologue or discussion. Uh, Please leave some comments below. Let me know, you guys. Do you like this? Do you like the time zone? I like to do this rather late. Um, Let me know about the lighting. Uh, what you guys think I need to do better in order to make this more entertaining, because well, more entertaining and more intellectually sound. Remember, when I talk about these topics, excuse me, I'm talking about them from a broad perspective. And my hope is to give you a small glimpse into what you need to do, or what it is you're looking for, so that you can take that knowledge and begin to expand on it on your own and properly apply it to your life. So, once again, like, share, comment. Please comment down below. If you're watching this after the live stream, uh, put after, um, or put second watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace to you guys. I'm out.